Just let the market tell you if you're onto a good idea or not. And just put it out there. I don't care if it's an email. I don't care if it's in person or if it's on your Facebook post or in a Facebook group. Just put it out there and see if you get action on it. We want to have that tactical front door, right? When we get an idea like, hey, I wonder if there's enough people with $20,000 masterminds that if I said, hey, I'm looking for people that have $20,000 masterminds and a direct mail list, I might have something that really help you. Reach out. If nobody reaches out, that's okay, right? But how much time have I spent in trying to figure out that off? Not very long. But then weird ones that I don't think that'll be that awesome actually turn out awesome, like the 3-day Zoom workshop. You guys really took to it. So I'm like, okay, I wonder how my group would take to it. I put it out there and get like 70 comments. They'd be interested in it. Right? So now the next step is you have several next steps, but I can follow up with some of those commenters. That's the T1, that's the hand raiser, right? So I know what they want, but my next thing, like, now, why haven't they already got it? What's missing? Why haven't they already got it? I can ask them that, right? So if I can say, let's say we were doing the 20K mastermind, I could say, so how are you selling your masterminds now? Why? And I would say it nice, but why do you think that you're not full up now with what you're doing? So Facebook ads are expensive or whatever it is, right? So now I can just get all the reverse ammo for how I can position my offer just by following up with them. And then if it makes sense and I can say, hey, I'm going to put all the details together for you. Would it be okay if I just attach them here when I have them? Or can I get back together with you when I have all the details put together? They're going to be like, okay. And now I can go off and write all my T3 with all that information they just gave me about what's stopping them or what's missing, right? What's missing, why they haven't solved the problem. Because if somebody has a problem, say they raise their hand because of a problem, more than likely they don't know how to solve it. Or what they think there's out there to solve it isn't a great solution, right? So that's where we're going to position our offer. So that's kind of like in the T2 or the follow-up. So we can do all of our research, if you will, not in here in our head, but using our ear and our eye if we're PMing people, right? To figure out like, how should I position this offer? How should I write this T3 or whatever the follow-up conversation is. One of the things that can make this more enjoyable is, and Andy's a great testament to this, one of the things that can make this more enjoyable, and it's free, almost nobody does it, and it can actually create like a buying frenzy where you set open 12 spots and 15 people come in, is a 3 simple letter, fun. People love something fun. If you can insert fun, like tap on something that you can engage people or link to something that is already fun, right? If you can add some fun to it, boy, that makes if there's the problem is the disease and you want to get them to take a bite of medicine or take a spoonful of medicine, fun is the sugar that helps that medicine go down and makes people like, hey, yeah, let's do it. Like, that sounds like fun. So if you can add some fun into it, that will help grease the slide or be the sugar that helps the medicine go down. So a lot of times we can cut out a lot of steps and just go right for what we want to know and start getting into the money flow and creating the product based off of what people tell us. The magic to making that happen, as we always talk about, is being specific. It's going to be very, very hard to do if you're saying, hey, anybody want to go from 6 figures to 7 figures? That's so ginormous. Right? There's 101 ways that you go from 6 figures to 7 figures. Pick one of those ways that you are expert or somebody that's expert helping if you're going to do a production or a producer kind of thing and say, hey, anybody open to solving this problem by doing this, right? And then add some fun in there and then just follow it up from there, but let the market tell you. And then give them as fast as you can, give them the opportunity to open up their wallet, pull out a credit card and pay you, because everything else is not as good as people will say, oh, it sounds good, sounds great, kiss, kiss, hug, hug. And then you won't know until you get up, ask them for the money. The faster you can get to that point and get confirmation on that, the faster your offers are going to take off. So that's all I have on the fuel up. Let's go ahead and roll into any challenges you guys might be having, the Kleenex section, I guess we can call it. I'm just kidding. But let's roll into any challenges you might have, Q&A, brainstorming, any of those kind of things that you guys want to do.
Actually, Travis, I've got something since last time.
Let's do it.
So I went through the video from last time, the Zoom watched it, and I'm thinking about the 3-day event, and I'm a little unclear as far as setting that up. So is that just like a single, like just a T1, the whole process T1 through T3, or is it just a single email of just I'm going to be opening this up, and I've already worked on the angle from I get like 160 questions. I've been asking my email list about a question. There's just no way to do 160 questions free or paid.
Yeah.
But that seems to be a good one. And then just narrowing it down from there, hitting the pain points. So I was just wondering where you start with that, or how you did that to introduce that. Because I like the 3-day thing versus and that can lead to the 6-week, because I think there's a big segment.
Yeah, or the 3-day can lead to your 6-month or year-long thing, right? Just depending on what you're doing. I liked the connection that you posted, and I already gave you some of my thoughts on there. So those are kind of like pre-T3s, right? Those are kind of like conversations. You're trying to find what would be the right words to even say there. And again, rather than us try to figure it out, why don't we just ask them, right? So if you came back, let's say you sent, hey, I need your help working on something, and I'm not sure if I'm going to put it together or not, but this would be really helpful. You can do it in a survey if you want. But what's happening when you feel really close to your guy or to your fella or whatever you think be that, right? And then what's happening when you feel like he's pulling away, right? Because what you're looking for is like, what's the specific problem you're going to be talking about that you can point a finger on? I guess my hunch is that they're going to arguing is going to be a thing. Arguing and fights, and when he closes off and it goes is the hell island, and probably sex is going to be the heaven island. Now, I think we have a tendency to think that it's guys that have most of the lack of sex thing, but I think for your women, at least in my experience, they're the ones that really, really bother. If there's not that much sex in their relationship, they take it really hard. And sometimes as guys get older, somehow they start losing, it's not that they lose interest, but for very reason that happens, right? But those would give you, what you're looking for is very specific thing that then you can come along and say, hey, this is Bob. I've been asking you a question. I've been thinking about putting on a really short, intensive, we'd make it so nobody would have to, we'd all get together over Zoom. Now, I don't know if you people know what Zoom is. We'd all do it virtually. And it would be how to argue less, or how to make less war and make more love, or whatever. But basically the one idea that they're gonna walk away with, the one problem. The problem is lack of sex. But then that's gonna be, you don't have to like completely solve the problem. But if they say, wow, we had more sex this month than we had all year, that would probably be a win. If that's something that you can help them solve really easily, like my experience, usually for a guy, there's several reasons, but if the relationship's not going well, it's usually because the guy doesn't feel quote unquote admired, or he feels not respected. Same thing with the women too, but he feels not respected, shuts them down more than physical attributes and everything. I'm getting a little bit deep there, but that's what you're trying to get, right? And if like nobody responds back, then you don't have anything. Then you can figure out another angle or another thing, and then just come back and figure that out. But what you're looking for is quite a month to your T1 before you do a lot of investing in the rest of it, right? And then once you get some responses, then you can follow up more of a main, if you want, like if you want to, you can jump on the phone with them, you can jump on Skype, or you can do a manual T2 process. And basically what you're looking for is how long have they had the problem and why is it persisting? What is it they haven't been able to find out there, right? So maybe, well, I've read all the Kindle books, or, I've tried the lingerie, I've tried all that kind of stuff, and none of that appears to work. This is all wonderful material for you, all the things that haven't worked, right? Because you're going to have to give them a fresh new insight about what does really work. You want to figure out why they haven't been able to solve. Also, what other alternatives are out there. One of the alternatives is to go to therapy for a long time, right? And usually the big problem with that, even if the woman wants to go, is the guy doesn't want to be dragged to it. Now I'm being a little bit in my head, right? Hey, this is something you can attend all by yourself. He doesn't even have to come. So that might be, we're looking for ways we can position into the offer, right? Then once you've got a good idea, then you can just say, you know what? We've had 200 responses. I have a little bit of a problem. I only want to work with 5 girls or 10 girls in this first class, right? And be completely upfront that this is the first time you've put on an event like this, right? That way it takes the pressure off of you, right? And so you can say, hey, we're going to have a lot of fun. There'll probably be, and I want to make sure that we get the result that you want, right? But we might have some we might go down to some dead ends and have to turn around, or I might be throwing you some Word documents or something like that, right? But that's kind of the way that I like to do it. And then, once you've done a couple of them, then you have it in the can, right? And now you have, and it's not a true asset, but you have something that you can do over and over again. And especially if you have a strategy to it. It's like, wow, 40% of the women rolled into the 10K program, right? Or the 5 payments of 2K or whatever. Now you have something that's, holy smokes, I could just run one of these a quarter, right? Or even if it's now that you have a can, usually your first one's going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride, but I've got the T3 now. I've got one in the can that's just awesome. So I can give that in the can to people and then just do the Q&As with them, right? But I know that it's got a 95% success rate, and then I can just go in with the Q&As and make sure and give them any leadership and everything that they need.
And just real good, is this something, because I've Nick and Eric affiliates that are wanting to send, which it's not ready for, but I think we'd said at one point about trying to have a webinar, but maybe that's something I can come back to you on as far as how to make this, if there's a way to do this with affiliates.
Yeah, that's a really great question. He doesn't come to the calls. I've been working with Joe Irway, who's a webinar expert, right? I shouldn't do the quote thing. He really is a webinar expert. He's awesome. But he took on a new client, and he's actually running the T3 and it's such, his webinar is going to write itself now, right? He's done the T3. He knows all of the pain points. He knows all of the objections. He knows exactly what they're going to ask, right? So I think running a couple of T3 T3 campaigns is the best possible thing you could do to put a webinar together. And Joel's like, man, this is just amazing, right? Because you can survey till the cows come home. You can do all kinds of stuff, right? But until people pull out their wallets, you just don't know. But now he's got everything he needs to put this webinar together, right? It's not going to be based off of theory or hoping it will work, or even a VSL, right? You're going to know exactly what to do to sell it. Yeah, if you wanted to put it into a web, you could probably sell it, add the cart 2K. You could just have them email you hey, instead of doing a strategy session, just have them email at the end, say, hey, I'm opening up a few spots. If you'd like to get all the details, just email me and we'll make sure there's nothing preventing us from helping you. And then we'll send you over all the details and you just let us know if you would like to come or not.
Okay.
It worked really smooth.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody's else?
Travis,
hey.
So I just sent out my first T1. I really love what you said today about the T1 follow-up as being the second step in building your T3. So some of the questions, so I'm just curious, if someone says I'm in or they're interested, what do you respond to them with in message you? What do you say? You had said some questions. What do you think? Why do you think you're not there? Why do you have this problem? I'm just curious how you start that conversation.
Yeah. So usually I always do it thanking people profusely. Dude, thank you so much. So happy to see you. Comment there. If you have any personal stuff, that's great. And if you don't know much about them, I'd say, so you want to get start out with something easy for them to tell you, right? This was about turning trials into pay. What are you doing now, right? Because what you want to know is what they're doing now. What are you doing now? Basically, we're just doing X, Y, and Z, right? And then you where do you want it to be? Where would you if we were to do this together, where would you like it to be? And then what we really want to know, and this is the reason why we're asking other questions, is what do you think's prevented you? What stopped you from not already having this, or however it flows to make sense? But what you want to know is what are the sharks, or what are the options that they see that's not working for them? Well, we had a big consultant come in, or we tried to get a Facebook ad expert, or whatever it was, right? But that's what you're looking to know in order to position your offer, right? Your offer is always positioned in between hell and heaven, not on hell and heaven island. It's positioned in between, right? So in order to know that, you have to know what have they tried, why didn't it work, or what's out there that they haven't tried and why don't they like it? What is it they don't like about what's out there? So I try to get as much info on those as possible, right? Okay. And then if you don't have the T3 written yet and you think that would be, and don't ever say, I think you'd be a good fit, right? That usually turns people off, right? You say, I think I can help you, or I think there's a good possibility that I can help. Why don't I put all the details, if I decide to do this, I'll put all the details together for you. Would you be open to getting the details, right? You might even say, hey, if you get a dollar amount, so if we could bump you up 20% or 10% on your conversion rate, what do you think that would mean dollar-wise, right? Oh, that would mean $100K extra a year. I haven't decided what price to put this on. This is an investment. But if we did something where it was like 1K down and you just paid the rest, you paid another amount after we got to that target result, how would you feel about that right now? Because now you're testing the price. Oh, that would be good, right? If you're price testing, right? Or you can just hold that off for the T3, whatever you want to do. But then you can make it, dude, you'll be the first one, like sometimes I'll have people reach out, a really great dude reach out when I did my T1. He's like, when you open this up, give me more details, right? I'm like, you'll be the first one. So he is. Before I open it to the public, I'm going to reach out to him and say, here's all the detail. Right? And if he doesn't take it, I'll just ask for feedback, right? I'll turn and move based upon what they say, right? But yeah, I don't have a static question. Yeah, I kind of base on how comfortable they feel talking with me and those kind of things.
Sure. Okay. That's
a great question.
Hey, Travis, this is Yassine.
What's going on, my man?
Hey, buddy, just woke up. Is this about doing like phone calls, like uncover currency and objections for the T3?
No, we were just talking about let the market make the decisions for you. Just getting our offers out there and letting the market make the decision rather than sitting on it for 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 years, what have you.
So Travis, you said it's only been up for an hour, so I'm not really sure, but it doesn't look like I'm getting a ton of comments on the post. So is there like a number that you look at and think, yeah, this is a good offer? Is there, at what point do you say, oh, this is not a good offer, I'm gonna try another one?
Well, like how many comments do you have right now?
Probably about 15.
I'd let it go for a little while.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it go, but I'm just curious.
I'll let it go for a little while. If you could put 4 or 5 people in, that'd be fine.
Yeah, not bad.
You got 15 comments off the first one. I would like do what we're talking about. Just say, hey, thanks, great seeing comment. If we were to do this, like what outcome are you looking for? Why don't you think you don't say it like that? Like, what do you think stopped you, prevented you from getting that already, right? And they could say, I just haven't had time to focus on it, or which is all telling you something, right? So then get it done in a workshop. That's going to be really powerful, right?
Yeah.
And get those things, right? It's not so much about the comments that you get, is the feedback that you get. And then obviously you want to like see if they pull out their wallet for it, right? Because if you get, let's say you get 20 comments and 5 people buy, you're going to make a fortune, right? You're going to make a fortune on that. Whereas if you get 100 comments, but nobody will buy, you're going to make nothing. So it's not so much about people get so enamored with open rates and click-through rates and all this stuff that you can't bank. Another diabolical thing is a lot of times the people that comment and follow you all the time are not the people that's going to buy. It's like the people that are in the background who will end up buying. But yeah, I would just start having conversation, and then as quickly as I could, I'd put an offer in front of them and see if they buy. Yeah, it's great when we get hundreds of comments, right? But that's not necessarily indicative of what's going to make the offer work. I like to tease them a little bit too. You probably see me do this. So you could go in there and say, well, I don't know if this is going to be happening or not. But also, if you go in, you already liked some of their stuff I saw, but I would also go in and comment, hey, great to see you. Thanks for chiming in. That's another thing that get people like, you're like the superstar there. That's almost like a secondary benefit, right? They respond back to them, right?
Yeah.
Or somebody responds back to them. I wouldn't think that 15 is really low. I would have to go back and look at your other stuff, but I probably think you're going to get 30 or so before it's all done and over with, just based on that. And that was just a little 2-minute blurb off the top of my head.
We didn't really spend a lot of time on that one.
That's right. And sometimes those are the best ones. We didn't spend the time, right? But now you've got something to work with.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, do you mind if I jump in here? And yeah, just something to add there, Eric, about those comments and everything. You said 15 comments. Is that right? On a post?
Yeah.
That you pretty much put together in a couple minutes?
Yeah, he made it about an hour ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
15 comments already? Holy cow, that's pretty good, isn't it? I would think. I would say, just from my experience in when I find that people are commenting and stuff, what helps me the most to do my best to dig deep into those comments versus trying to get a ton more people and a ton more posts. The more we post, the better. Obviously repositioning our T1s and everything, but what I found is the deeper I dig into that group to, comment just a little bit, at least thank them for commenting. One thing Travis mentioned earlier, this helps me a lot. And I actually posted something this morning, it has nothing to do with business, but I do it because it creates great engagement and it's fun, is the whole topic of fun, just putting a GIF in the comment that thanks them in some way or makes them laugh or whatever, just to keep the good feelings going. I found that doing simple things like that with my T1s was getting people to reach out to me and stuff like that. So I wanted to mention that. Number two, about the digging deep part, is that one thing I started doing was putting stuff in a spreadsheet, and these people comment, just quickly putting it over into a Google spreadsheet of who I need to definitely follow up with. Because as you guys know, with all these comments, and then you got people private messaging you, it's hard to keep track, especially the private messages, I think, because the comments, you can always go back to the post and see who all commented. Those private messages, man, gosh, those are...
I'm really bad at that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's impossible. And I'm not doing the greatest at it myself at documenting, but one thing that has helped is for me quickly put them into a spreadsheet or just a regular Google document where you got a list of the people's names so that you to follow up with them ever. So you might do that too. There's something else I was going to add to that. I can't remember what it is right now. That might, help you to remember that even from 5 to 10 comments, just by digging into that and maybe even reaching out to them without any kind of a pitch or anything. If you've got time, and let's say you squared away 30 minutes, let's say, of posting or just commenting and collaborating on Facebook, just to send them something of yours that they weren't expecting, saying, hey, I just wanted to give you this link to this video that I created last year. If it helps you, let me know. I saw where you posted about X, Y, and Z. And then be detached from whether or not they even come back to you, knowing that you put out something good, you did something to legitimately help them. And that just creates that bond or strengthens that bond, digging deep into the people that commented underneath your post. So that's some of the stuff I've done a little bit that seems to have helped.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
What else, guys?
Hey, this is Andy again, if no one else wants to jump in right now. I kind of a question for you, Travis, or anyone else who will jump in. I mentioned during the very beginning that I've been blessed with really good reaction to an offer I put out there. Again, it's called Webinar World Series, and I made it all about fun. I love baseball, and it's around the time of the actual World Series in baseball, and I put 2 and 2 together and created this thing that's centered around that. So I'm making it all fun and everything, and people just jumped in, and now I've got a full class, or I call it a class. It's not a class. They're all just collaborating to pitch each other's webinars. But now that I've got them in and they've invested, again, they did just a small deposit of $1,000, and then they're going to pay me $4K after $50K in sales, which after I did it, I was like, I should have charged a little bit differently, but
Yeah.
but it's all good. But anyway, my question is that now that I've got them in, I've been working a lot, just set up things in a Facebook group and just make sure everything's dialed in for them as much as possible, but I'm having trouble getting them all to come on to these calls. And I knew that was going to be the case because they're very busy. This week I had at 1 p.m. Eastern time every day set up to do Zoom calls like this. And I've been calling them pitch days. The first day was opening day, where everyone was going to come on, and I was going as like an intro call. And again, this is all based around the whole fun aspect. It's all baseball terminology. So that was opening day. And then pitch days, kind of like pitching a baseball, but that's where they were all to come on and pitch their webinars to each other. And I set it up to where they could select whatever day they wanted to pitch. And I even gave them a plan to follow. But what I'm finding is that it's like herding cats, kind of like I've done in the past when I used to do product launches, trying to herd cats to promote stuff. That's what I'm finding this is like, to herd them in to actually get on the call so they can pitch their webinars to each other. So tomorrow is supposed to be the last day, and I've only had about 4 people pitch out of the 14 or 15 people I have on board. And I guess I need some guidance on how to herd the cats a little bit better, get them more engaged. Do I need to reach out to them personally I have been anyway, but reach out to them personally to offer them the opportunity to just record their pitch instead and send it to me? It's only a 5-minute pitch anyway. I'm giving them 5 to 10 minutes to pitch it. That takes the whole positive aspect of being able to collaborate on those pitches afterwards, because they're all pitching, but then they're collaborating. And the ones we've had last 2 days, there's a lot of magic happening because they're saying, hey, we need to talk outside of this or whatever. So I guess that's
okay.
So I guess that's where I'm at right now, is just trying to herd them in so that I can actually help them take advantage of the value that they're investing in. And the last thing I'll say about that is because I know this offer is so good that if I can dial this in a way that isn't as time intensive for me, I could see doing this long term, and I think it could make a big splash, but not if they're not getting in there so they can get the results. So I've got the proof.
How many lots did you have open for them to come to it. So like you had 14 people, 15 people, like how is it structured?
Okay. The structure was I wanted no more than 3 to 5 people pitching on any certain call, because I did a trial run 2 or 3 weeks ago that was just great. Had 5 people on, and pitching it went a little bit long. And so I knew that I didn't really want more than that on a call.
So how long was long?
The ones back then were 15 to 20 minutes. Now it's like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, but how long did the whole thing go?
I think it was 2 hours.
Okay.
First call.
Okay.
Yeah. But there was a lot of back and forth collaboration, which is a big part of it too. And I tell them, just stay on as long as you guys want. I'll stay on as long as you want to discuss each other's offers, ask questions, talk about what's working with webinars, anything you want to do.
My gut instinct on not to give them so many time, maybe say we're gonna pitch for, there's gonna be 2 days of pitches, and you pick out what 2 days those are gonna be. Whoever wants to come on can come on. They can come on to both days. They can come on to one day. But you come on those days, or that's it.
Yep.
Now make it fun. You bring some peanuts and Cracker Jack.
Love it.
Set it up so if you need to take a break or schedule in break. But part of it, the challenge of business is just chunking stuff down. So I think it'd be a lot less work if you have 2 3-hour calls or 2 4-hour calls. Then you're done. But then they've got 2 alternate dates they can come on. They can come on one. They can come on both. But when you open it up too wide, you're probably diffracting their focus. You're also making that much more work for yourself because now you got to show up.
Yeah.
You're not chunked down now. I would probably space out the 2 days, right? Because like you're going to have your people that are going to show up, and then you're going to have your people that are nervous about pitching. That's probably what's holding them up more than anything else. I would think, and I don't know the people there, but they're probably self-conscious and nervous about pitching.
People I have on board, I don't think they would be that nervous. I think it's more of just a being busy type thing and maybe not prioritizing doing this. I think
that could be it, but don't be surprised that it would be better off to just assume they're too nervous to pitch. There's really nothing to be gained from assuming that they're really super confident.
Yeah.
But the way you handle that is just like you said, wow, we just had our first one, right? We had our first call and we got this thing and this thing going on, man. If you didn't make it to this one, you certainly want to make it to this next one. And you can even say, we start off a little bit bumbly, and that's okay. We're not expecting, you don't have to throw 3 strikes. Like you really don't get struck out. And everybody, we want everybody to get on base. But I would separate those days out so you can do your leadership, right? In between those days for the guys that stragglers or what have you, right?
Yeah.
I would prefer to do it. If it was me, I would just make it one day. Listen, mofos, you come on this day.
Yeah.
And then what I might do is have some follow-on extra bonus days, right? If I needed them. But I'd rather just get it all out of the way if I could.
Yeah. So here's what I think I'll do, man. And that's great because I've already got it set up to where the next 4 Wednesdays in October are deal dugout days where they get in the dugout. Like we all get in the dojo. My people get in the dugout to talk about all this. But I think Wednesday is going to be that day. I'm going to tell them all that that's the day. I'm blocking off the entire 4 or 5 hours, even if I have to. And what I think would motivate them to come on board is if I have it one day and let's say I get 10 of them on there, that's more people that are on there to see their offer at once. And that's more people that can collaborate. But at the same time, they can come in and out however they please. But this is when we're recording it. And we'll go with that. So that makes a lot of sense.
Hey,
Yeah.
first of all, hey, I got just a quick thing I want to share. Travis, I agree with you. The fact that you're available and that you're willing to just make yourself available actually makes me nuts. I think that's awesome, but so it's baseball, right? I'm a baseball guy too. So I think you may have a top of the inning. You get 3 people up to pitch their webinar, and then you got a bottom of the inning. Mm-hmm. And each call, you got 3 innings. That's it. And it's going to be within a fixed period of time. Someone told me something once that I'll never forget, and it's worked for me and my employees, and that is work expands to fill the time allotted.
Yeah.
So if you give them 3 hours, brother, they're going to take you for all 3 hours. So based on what I heard, if you have a call and it's a 2-inning call and you got 3 people at the top and the bottom of the inning, you're done after 2 innings and you're out.
Yeah. Anyway. I like it, man.
There you go. Thanks.
That's great. Yeah. I love it.
That's the other thing too. Like the games start at a certain time. If you're late, the game's going to go on without you, man. You've already paid for your ticket, right? Yep. So I guess that's great, Lynn. Yeah.
I don't know how this will work out, but Jay Abraham did a program where he had people pay, and if they didn't attend, they would pay, and he would give them back partial refund if they attend. So pay $2,000, and if you attend all calls, I'll give you a partial refund.
Okay.
If you don't attend, then it's gone. I don't know how that will change your offer, but on the call, he's like 100% attendee rate. I think for the first call, he had everyone show up. There were some drop off on the coming calls. I think Travis sold that, but he had 100% people show up. So
Sure.
Just an idea I'm throwing out there.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that's a great idea. Although I think I would be more apt to do that if I had required more of an upfront deposit.
Next rollout.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a good idea. But with $1,000 up, and again, I mentioned at the very beginning of this call, I'm not even fired up about all this because I'm seeing dollar signs. I'm fired up because this is an offer that could go on, and I want to get this nailed down in a format that does save my time. Yeah, that helps. Lynn, appreciate that.
That's the other thing too, is I would pay very close attention to the people that did show up on the first call or just show up together, because you want to find more people like them and less people like the people that didn't show up.
Yeah. Well, and I need to follow my advice about digging deep too, where the people that have shown up, because I've had one guy show up to every call, including the trial run. Three of the five people that were on the trial run loved it so much. They've been on almost every call so far. And I need to dive into them and really help them find DSAT and go the extra mile.
Those are people you want to invite into your big league, right?
Yep.
Those are the first people you want to join in to say, hey, the reason I'm coming to you first because you've been on all these calls, right? And I'm going to make you a special, right? The big league, right? Yeah. It's up to all the calls, or all the, you came to every game, right? You have perfect attendance. You came to every game. You didn't leave me without a first baseman or whatever. So I want to reward you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Guys, I appreciate it. That's good. I don't want to take up too much more of the time on this call. That's very helpful. That really helps me with the biggest stumbling block I've got right now. And I may come back later on with something totally off topic for now.
That's great. But the big thing especially the last couple of years, just what can I eliminate? Can I just eliminate it? Can I eliminate a call? Can I eliminate just what can I eliminate? One of the biggest boons for me in my business is how can I eliminate having to buy media all the time, buy ads all the time, right?
Yeah.
What is that I want? I just want the damn list, right? Why don't I just trade my skills for somebody's list, right? And I'm not saying that would work for everybody, right? Yeah. But how can I just eliminate like something completely out of my business, right? So how can we eliminate a day? How can we take it out?
And last thing I'll say is it kind of reminds me of how I took product launches out of my business. I just decided I didn't want to do those anymore. So I told people I was done. Although that's another topic for another day. But so I took that out of the equation. And now what I'm trying to do is I'm sick. Being a JV broker in the internet marketing space has been lucrative for me, and I enjoy a certain aspect of it. I'm trying to make a twist in the industry. Now I'm able to get these people JV partners and not charge them a brokering commission. They're just paying me an entry fee to get onto these calls. And so I'm trying to eliminate where I've got that, always hustling type thing, trying to create deals to make commissions.
That's right. And I would save all your best content. I'm not saying that if you know somebody you want to help out on a first date, that's awesome. But I would hold off on all your best contacts for people that join the big league with you and want to get married. Hold that off. I don't want to be too risque, but you're the kind that doesn't want to go to bed until you're married. So that would be something you could have to be in your bonnet.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't think Travis' suggestion to help them with their pitch is like sometimes like even in the Mojo wins, sometimes I hesitate because I don't want to be judged. I think about what I want to say and I try to wordsmith it. Sometimes if I think, oh my God, like this will affect my identity of how people look at me, I try not to say it, but I know it's a safe environment, right? After I let someone else start saying their mojo moment, this will let me get it rolling. And it's like, okay, yeah, Tony, I'll just say my mojo moment. But there's sometimes hesitation, knowing that people are watching me and they're going to judge what I say. Just there's hesitation. Would be interesting to reach out pre-webinar. Hey, do you need help with your pitch? You'd be surprised to see people say, yeah, I wouldn't mind running it by you.
Perfect example, let the market tell you. Perfect example, yeah.
Pre-webinar, hey, looking forward to seeing you on the pitch. Do you have everything lined up? Do you need help with your pitch? Anything you need? Because then there's no reason they can't attend unless, of course, something in their life happened that prevented. but you've got their commitment already. I'll be seeing you on the webinar. I've got this guy lined up. I know a good match or something.
That's the one thing you could do. This comes out of, that was really great advice. Yassine. This comes out of Cialdini's influence. One of the things you can do is have them, if you're going to have them pick a day or whatever, say, but like if I was going to Yassine, right? So Yassine, I've got you down for Tuesday at 3:00. Will you do me a favor? And if you can't make it, will you let me know? And then if you can get them to say, yeah, so great. If you can't make it, you'll let me know because I don't want to have that empty spot sitting there. And more than likely, if he says yes a couple of times, then his show up rate is going to be much, much higher, even if he is feeling a little bit. But without having that confirmation, like the show up rate will go way down. That's straight out of Cialdini's. But it's worked great for me for G sessions and all kinds of different things. Just getting them, even like my long guys, my pool guys, right? They say, oh, because Billy Bob always, hey, Billy, what time do you think you can do my gutters? I don't know, somewhere between 2 and 4 o'clock, somewhere in the evenings. So then I try to get them nailed down a little bit. It's like, do you think you can be here between 2 and 4? Yeah, I think I could. So, Billy, will you call me? If you can't make it between 2 and 4, will you call me? Because we're really busy over here. Yeah, okay, I'll be over there. I'll be over there between 2 and 4. And then he shows up more than likely, right? If I don't go through that rigmarole, just don't hear from him. So it's been really effective in a lot of ways.
That's awesome. Yassine, thanks for that, man. That helps a lot. Travis, thank you.
You're welcome. What else can we work on?
I'll go towards the end. I don't want to, I have a long question.
Let me pick on Alex here for a minute and see if Alex has got anything. And Alex, you don't have to have anything. I just paved the way just in case you're brewing on something there. If you just want to wait till tomorrow, because we'll be getting together tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. Obviously, you guys have all been working together for a while. I will just say real quick though, I wish I had listened or been on the webinar a few months ago though, because I made the mistake of putting in a whole load of time to create this wonderful lead magnet that I was going to use for Facebook to draw in some business owner leads to then help them out with using the right credit card in their businesses to maximize rewards. And I spent like a couple of weeks fine tuning this thing down. And I'm not saying it's dead in the water, but from the first couple of tests, I'm okay at being able to put up something half decent. I think it just fell completely on its face, and plenty of people were scrolling through on their newsfeed, seeing the ad, and I thought it was really compelling, something that people would definitely want. And yeah, just hardly anyone was interested in it. And I was like, damn, what if I just send an email to my list saying, business owners, would you be interested, or would you be open to getting some help out with this, that, and the other? I could have had an answer with 10 minutes work. So that's cool to know that now, though, for sure. And because I hadn't actually looked at it in that way, I looked at it as, well, I was going to put in 2 days of work anyway, and it didn't work. So let's go back to 2 more days of work. So actually that's been really helpful. Yeah, anyone else who might have been tempted to go down the same route as me, I would not recommend it.
Sometimes even after you learn it, you still want to, because sometimes we want things to work. Like we just get so excited about an idea. We want it to work, right? Yeah. But yeah, that's great, Alex, for chiming in there.
The innovator buy it.
Guessing what you got cooking.
Yeah. By the way, just the first payment from the backend agency client just cleared. So I was like, that's a decent payment. So
clients that pay you is a good sign for sure. That's a good sign that you want to go on a second date with them, right?
Yeah, I thought that it's quite a bit of a big payment. So there wasn't any hesitation. He paid it with.
Yeah.
And he wanted to roll with the next offer. So that was exciting.
That's great.
So I'm very grateful. Anyway, and yeah, I've got a couple of things going on. The Rainmaker is going great. I'm at like $20 per open, rolling into the trial line, and I'll be introducing a payment plan. So I'm in the second leg. That's great. Just got my third property, but now I'm controlling without paying for these things. So I'm like, now I'm pulling some Sago stuff on these lords. I'm just like controlling the property by having a master lease, and I'm just like then Airbnb. That was a cool acquisition because I didn't pay for the property. I just controlled it. So that was a great thing that happened today. I locked in the property. Anyway, so with this C3 guy, so we're rolling SEO like we talked about. And pretty much, one of the things that they kept, so I talked to his PPC guy who lead his PPC department. And the thing that they kept saying, we can't guarantee results. We can't guarantee results. And like people come in and we can't guarantee results. And we don't control the Google algorithm and what happens and whatnot. So I was like, so basically what you're saying to me, hey, Yassine, come buy my car, give me $7,000, and I'll say, hey, look, Travis, for your $7,000, I'll give you a car that has 4 wheels, has an engine, but I can't guarantee it will go up the hill. Look, I don't control Honda, how they create the car, but I can't guarantee that it will go up the hill. We just have to take your chance. I'm like, dude, that's not going to work. That's why you guys have been struggling with selling the SEO. Yeah. Or you've been, or not necessarily struggling, but people have been not so happy.
What is it they are, Gary? Like we were talking about yesterday, it doesn't have to be binary. It's not like you make it to page 1.
That's exactly what we came up with. So it's like, so maybe what we could guarantee is bumping them 5 spots from there. So they select, say, 5 cities of their choice. So say, sell my house in Nashville, sell for cash in Nashville. So or sell my house in DC. So they pick 5 cities. Tennessee is not a city. So they pick 5 cities, and we guarantee that we'll move them at least 5 positions up or 10 positions up. We might not guarantee like page 1 in 6 months, but we want to guarantee like some movement there. So something they can see and they can touch. So he was like, yeah, this is something we could definitely consider. So we just need to figure out what that number is with their ability.
I would certainly think, and we talked about this a little bit last time, I think if somebody put a gun to my head, and I haven't done SEO in a long time, we have a really good SEO expert here, but if somebody put a gun to my head, something I had to guarantee, I could guarantee some traffic. I wouldn't guarantee rankings, but I could get long tail keywords, right? And rankings for those long tails, right? Because if you look at their search record, they're going to get long tail traffic, right? I'm not saying your rankings going up 5 spots or whatever is not good or whatever, but what most people want is the traffic, right? So if you could say, hey, what we'll guarantee is that you'll start getting some long tail search traffic. You'll see it. We can guarantee that you go up a couple spots, but you're going to get traffic. And if you can extrapolate what they're paying for PPC now for that traffic, even if it's not the same keyword, right? Then you could say it's $5 a click, right? So if we brought you
$5, you're talking real estate. It's like $20, $30, $40, $50. In some cities in Dallas, $80 per click.
Yeah, so if we brought you 100 visitors at $50 a click, that would be $5,000, right? Now again, there's not that same SEO PPC guy could come in and say, "Oh, you're talking about this keyword." But a lot of times, long tail keywords convert better than the other words, right? So
like then we guarantee, say, 100 visits, 500 unique visitors.
That's right.
We don't stop working until you hit that visitor.
That's right. Yeah.
If you don't hit it within 6 months, well, great. We're going to keep working at it until you hit that unique visit.
Yeah. And what will happen is, even if you don't hit that number, guys are likely going to start getting some leads and some phone call. Now, you don't want to guarantee that, but what you can guarantee, like I don't care what keyword you're going after, there's going to be some long tail stuff that other people haven't thought of that you're probably going to be able, and people are using, that you're going to be able to rank for.
So what he said is they do 6 months, 1 year worth of SEO work in 3 months, and really there's nothing for them to do afterwards. It's like maintenance.
Yeah.
It's building. It's like link building. After that, there's like foundational work that goes into getting the SEO thing.
Yeah.
But then it's really all about link building. So there's literally, even if they guarantee for another 12 months, there's very little maintenance.
Yeah. Are they using social sites like YouTube and?
No, that's the great idea that we came up with, and he's now open to it. So we framed the whole thing around, it's not SEO, it's conversion focused SEO.
Yeah.
What we do is convert leads, right? We use SEO primarily in the first 3 months to convert the existing traffic that's looking for you.
That's right.
So let's do this quick quiz. Travis, when you type Travis Sago or Travis Sago buy house LLC on Google, what comes up? Does it come up with your Facebook page, Facebook profile, your empty LinkedIn profile? Does your competition maybe comes up? What comes up there? So that's what so he's now open. So he wants me to come up with like the standard that we talked about. And that's what I'm now working on. So we're going to do 5 YouTube.
That's something they can point a finger at, right? They can point a finger at, oh, you made me a YouTube. Oh, you made me a profile, but they can't point to some SEO magic that hasn't.
That's where the chat. So he's been having clients calling him pissed off. It's like, guys, what the hell are you doing? I paid you $7,000. Where's the work? They want them to clock in time. As like you have that same issue like the locksmith who unlocks the door in 1 minute when he should have taken an hour, just so that people see the effort, because people don't value hidden expertise. They value when they see you sweating. It's like, okay, he has put in the time. But if they can't see you putting in the time, even if you get them the outcome in 1 minute, they're like, why the hell would I pay you that much money when you can get it from me in 1 minute?
Yeah, if they can point to something, because like people like writing articles and videos is like really like hard stuff, right? So if they could, wow, like when you Google my name, there's a YouTube thing, there's 2 articles, there's my LinkedIn profile. Now they have something they can point to and say, I got something for my money.
I want to engineer these features, like get your feedback on the pieces that we're going to add, because I want to present it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to write the T3. I'm going to write the ideal T3 that I think that this will convert, and this will inform the product development. So he's going to go from my offer and then enhance his product based on my offer of how I position it and what I suggest. And we're going to reconcile from there. So
that's cool, dude. And just my offer instinct is, you say it's $7,000 for what you can guarantee. You're gonna see YouTube videos. You're gonna see an increase in traffic at traffic that normally costs $50 a click if you were to pay for it. And then if we can get you on the front page, then there'll be another $8,000 payment. So basically $7,000.
I feel like that there's 2 payments of some sort. So I think that's what we could also do.
Yeah.
So it's okay. 8,000. Okay. Yeah, that would be awesome. 8,000 within, okay, if you get on page 1 within 12 months, you owe us, so it's 15,000, but you only pay the second half once we deliver. That's our guarantee. You don't pay us unless we deliver.
And here's the magic in that. It's not in getting that $8,000 payment, which you will get. But the magic is there's so many more people that will take you up on the 7,000 because they feel like you've got skin in the game. That's if you did, I'm just making up numbers, but if you did 10 offers, it was just a straight 7,000, and you had 2 people take you up on the straight 7,000. It's likely 4 people will take you up on the 7,000, 8,000 one. Because
they're not now paying, and there's okay, I'll pay you 7,000, 6 months, and we're done. No, they know you're in it with them. So it's the psychology behind, not the price, not the number, but the psychology, which I think is great. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So it's 7,200 or 7,500 if it's on a payment plan. So we'll say, hey, it's 7,500, 2 payments of 3,750 to cover the first 6 months. But once we get you on page 1 for your top 5 keywords or top 3 keywords, top 5 cities, then we've earned another 7,500, and then we can also facilitate that. Once you've earned, and we can do say, hey, page 1, yeah, okay, we'll do page 1. Once they're on page 1, that's like amazing. So yeah, so we're going to engineer the offer. Like, I'll test them, and what do I have? I'll just test. And I'm going to get on the phone with these people before I send them the T3. I'm going to have them send me their phone number. I'll send them the T3 and get on the phone with them and see what their objections, because that's how I closed 60K for in 2 weeks last month. It's just like I got the phone number, I sent them the T3, I got on the phone, and then they started, oh no, how come you're doing this? And then I took all the feedback and iterated on the T3 in real time. So that was like killer for me. Otherwise I wouldn't have.
Sounds weird, man, but I love your balls. Like I love the balls. That sounds.
I hope my wife doesn't sound that. Doesn't hear that. Yeah. No, but yeah, dude. Yeah, I went balls to the walls for him. Because I like, if I'm not going to get on the get that feedback, it's going to take me hard. It's going to be 7,500 is 7,500. It's not okay, great. So that's what I'm going to do. So the package is going to be around. So here's what we're going to add, and I'm going to help them come up with the high level concept. And so we're going to come up with 5 YouTube videos, and then we're going to take those 5 YouTube videos and turn them into 30, 60 Facebook posts. Because a lot of the time their Facebook page is like a ghost town. So that hurts their credibility. We're just going to queue those Facebook posts up into a software that just spits them out every 3 days. Yeah. It's more or less the same for every client.
This is probably like my old SEO. Alex will probably laugh at me. Phoenix used to have a service that would send that video out to all the video services, Vimeo, and I don't know if they used to be like the article submitters and stuff too. But to them, they say, oh my God, I got videos on YouTube and Vimeo.
So we're going to give them 5 YouTube videos. We're going to script it out. It's the FAQ, the sharks, right? So we're going to do 5 shark videos. What would stop sellers from working with you? They already have that. So we're just going to script it out. And we could have, I don't want to get into the technicals of the product development, but basically they can either do it on video or they could send us the audio and we could do a slide like presentation, PowerPoint on Fiverr. They could Fiverr it out. We just need the audio piece from them. So we're going to do the 5 videos. We're going to do Google review because that's key. So I'm going to give them plug and play like email campaign or text message campaign on how to get testimonials from sellers and what to ask them, and give them like $50 Amazon gift card for leaving a review on their Google place, which is critical. So that's another campaign. So Facebook page content, we talked about it. We're going to do retargeting. You know, they're not going to get so many hits, but we're going to go deeper on the hits that they get. So we're going to do retargeting on Facebook and Google Display Network because that's plug and play, right? You don't split test retargeting, at least not at that level of traffic. So we're just going to do the targeting for them. And then we're going to like probably order for them. So they can have the website on their direct mail. Maybe we're going to get them like a car sign. They can put on the back of their car, like I buy house, go like whatever. So we're going to engineer the organic traffic for them. We're going to get them, we're going to force the hits, right? Yeah. So we're going to get them like a car sticker. We're going to get them like, I'm going to suggest we get them like business cards where we can put the website on there. Like I'm thinking, how can I engineer the organic traffic, right? I'm going to give them like the email signature. So when they're talking to a seller over email, it already says Traffic Sago, www.trafficsago.com. So we engineer those hits, right? Because a lot of the times what they do is they cold call sellers, they send out direct mail, and then once they send offers, right? They send written offers. Hey, Travis, here's my offer on your house. In the email signature, we're going to have, and I'm going to talk about how this SEO, what we're doing here, and because we're doing retargeting, it's just going to enhance, like one of the great benefits is you're going to start noticing your cold calling, your direct mail campaigns now converting better, right? So don't be surprised that these campaigns are going to start converting much better. So that's what we're going to. And he has a podcast as well. So I'm going to suggest we start interviewing every client, and he does a like show with them, 15, 20 minutes about their background, what got them into real estate, how they are different from anyone, and then link it back to their website. Now they're like, so we're engineering their authority. Basically, that's what they call it in the like. There are dedicated companies out there that just does that authority building for experts, right? This is a service, so we're just going to like enhance the whole SEO thing, and I think it's going to sell like gangbusters because now they're not too focused on, at least in the first 3 months, 4 months, they're not too focused on how am I getting traffic, right, from SEO. Well, chances are you're not. So that's what we're planning on doing. You're good with these features? That's what I'm going to suggest.
Yeah, I like it. You're giving them lots of stuff they can point at, which I think is the problem with a lot of SEO. They just they can't point to that magic science that may or may not happen.
Backlinking, and
I'm gonna get these videos. I'm gonna go signs on my car. That's awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. So then we talked about the ideal. But let me pause here. Anyone else want to jump in before I continue?
I wanted to say, Yassine, your discussion here to a thought that is difficult in health optimization. And that is, I was challenged. How can you offer some sort of risk reverse when you're trying to optimize someone's health? And it's entirely dependent on them taking action. And then the benefits. What you did when you're saying, look at this, I'm looking at, okay, what is the ultimate marker if someone is getting younger or their longevity is improving? It would be you have these intakes, and the ultimate one might be, do your telomeres get longer? Is your biological age, once your tests are done and you've taken the action you're supposed to take, is your biological age younger? And so I just wanted to say thanks. It's been fun to listen to you guys because of the application in a rather difficult market. There's all kinds of markers we can actually point to that are more advanced. And we can do a rather comprehensive job compared to some other people. When you're talking about using peptides to refurbish someone's brain, really dang cool if you can show them the before and after on the brain map.
Oh, yeah.
As an example. That's just one example. Body composition, muscle. Okay, now let's measure stem cells. What is your stem cell count? If you start using fasting, the fasting mimicking diet, and it's supposed to bump your stem cells up to 73%. All right, what's the before and after when you've done this once a month for 6 months and followed the process?
And here the mistake that they were doing in their monthly reporting in month 1, 2, 3, they were seeing the client, and I think that's their mistake. They were sending them reports like, hey, here's the keywords that you wanted us to rank, and it's still getting you 0 traffic. And it's like the whole report has 0, 0, 0, 0. I'm like, why are you even sending the report?
And you don't do that anyway, because when you're aiming for the big ones and you're getting long tail, you're not showing them all the stuff they are getting.
It's like, for transparency, I'm like, dude, okay, but you're like, you know that SEO takes 4, 5, 6 months to get rolling. So what I want you to do now in your client report in the first 3 months, make traffic the smallest section. And what I want you to list is the 5 videos that we just gave them, the reviews that we just got them, like what we did from an activity perspective that they can point a finger to. And I don't want you to even say anything about traffic unless things start moving. I just wanted to give them a benchmark. Hey, for these specific keywords, here's your benchmark. And then maybe a blurred section saying coming soon. As things start rolling in, then we start pointing a finger to the traffic and stuff. But for now, like you're saying, like you're not doing your job. That's what you have the right intentions. You want to be transparent, but you know for a fact nothing's going to happen in the first 3 months. And you sending them a report with zeros on it just forces their thoughts about you doing nothing. So if you're doing anything, those numbers would be moving up by. So I think the takeaway for maybe for you, Sarah, is like what they were doing as a mistake. It's like sometimes we are pointing to the wrong things. And it's all about leadership, like Travis say. It's up to us to focus their attention on the right thing.
If I'm looking at my crow's feet, hey, my crow's feet are still here. My crow's feet are still here. I might see like nothing's changing, right? It's like, when are these crow's feet gonna go away? But if you can show me like, oh, here's your before and here's your after, right? I remember in Washington, I thought it was so great. You had that little device that showed you how oxidized you were. And what made it even more interesting was that there was competition. I still can't believe Garrett Gunderson beat me, but I was the second least oxidized in the whole group. I still remember, but that's like the thing, right? So if you can show them and they can have some kind of benchmarks, even just something that they can see, it's like I'm making up total bullshit, but like your peptide level, your T levels, right? Your T levels were here, and now your T levels are here. The way that might translate, you might feel more amorous, right? Who knows? Or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
But
I think this gave me a metaphor also, Travis. Like when you're working out, when you start working out, when you go to the gym, you don't see the muscles popping up, or you don't see yourself losing weight, but what's actually happening is fat is burning up and it's being replaced by muscles. But if you don't take your BMI, you don't know that's happening.
yeah,
The same goes with the SEO. We're doing a lot of work under the hood. You're not seeing that,
that's right.
but we're prepping you up. So I think, so that could be a metaphor, but hey, here, then I'll swing back the pendulum. But here's what we're already doing: 5 YouTube videos, Google review, book ads, and then, because that's what they want, right? They want traffic. They want page 1. You're selling page 1, right? That's what we're selling. People want their name on page 1. A lot has to do with ego or significance, their sense of significance in the marketplace. It's like, I'm on page 1. So I think it has more, there's like the underlying emotion. I guess they want to be proud that they're on page 1 and something to like, it's anyway. So yeah. So
One idea, Yassine, and this probably wouldn't cost a lot for them to do, but it'd be very, very effective. Instead of getting their phone number to any of the YouTubes you do or the Facebook pages or any of that, get a number, even if you're going to turn it over to them at the end, but get a number where you can track the phone calls that are going through. And so you can say, wow, you've had 3 phone calls, right? Because if you're driving traffic different ways, you've had 3 phone calls, right?
We used to use CallRail, but it got really expensive. I don't understand what they mean by it. When you're charging,
or I'm using something that's not very expensive, and you can you're not trying to hold them hostage, but you just want a way to say, hey, here's the new stuff that we've been doing for you. And you've gotten these.
I ask them about it. It's like if people are not clicking on the website or they're not converting, they're maybe calling. So I'll ask them about it and see what's up. Yeah. So now
there's a solution for that you might consider, and I can post a link later, but it's Light Voice, and it is $40 a month for a single seat, but they record every single call and track everything all the way through.
Yeah.
So depending on what price you
Yeah, we use something called callrail.com, so it's really good also. Yeah, but I don't know what the issue was with the call tracking, but I'll bring it back again. Anyway, so the other thing we were talking about, a lot of times after digging into who gets success with this, who doesn't, what kept coming up is like, I asked them, like, if you had 2-3 questions, you're on a stage, you have your prospects, you want to raise their hand to move them into a smaller room, what would you ask? I guess it kept coming back to a point where, hey, CEO, if you're coming in and you're assuming that, like, if your business depends on getting a deal from SEO, we're going to have a lot of problem working together. You can't come in and have SEO your only source of deals. Look, our ideal client is someone who's already doing deals, and their livelihood, their business livelihood is not dependent on getting a deal in 3, 4, even 6 months from SEO. Their business is still going to be striving, is still going to be growing, but they're just like positioning themselves for market domination. That's who we get the best results.
I would think their PPC clients would be their best customers. They already know the cost of the clicks, right? So if we can get you some free clicks, that would be the best one.
So I want to talk about the T2 for a second, and then talk about the specific PPC campaign, because he's flexible on how we offer it to his PPC clients, because I think that's where the opportunity for me is how can we get his PPC clients upgrading to SEO. But so in the T2, I was thinking, so in the T2, I'm going to ask, hey, why is this, just like I did in the PPC. In the PPC, we narrowed it down to, remember we had a lot of people, we had big drop off from the T2 to the T3, because we were asking, do you have $2,000? No one has $2,000 unless you can make an argument why they need it. But so we narrowed it down to, I'm sorry, I'm just like looking it up here. Are you closing at least one deal a month? That's what we narrowed it down to. And then we talked about what would make you happy, and then why is now the right time for you? So 2 currency questions, just one qualifier. So I'm thinking the one qualifier for SEO, and I don't know how to frame it, I would like to work through it with you, is, and this is how I have it right now, but is SEO going to be a do or die for you? Is it a must have that you get a deal from SEO over the next 6 months, or you'll be in a cash crunch? Something like that. Like, how can I frame it in a way to, if they say yes, I'm going to sell them into the coaching program. I'm not going to sell them into the service because they're not a good fit. If their livelihood is tied up to getting a deal from SEO, they're going to give the product team a really hard time, and they're not going to be happy with the service.
I might ask them just like, how are you getting deals now? If they say, or just referrals, then that's probably not going to be, but if they're saying, I got a direct mail campaign going, or I've got somebody running Craigslist ads or Craigslist listings for me, or I'm using bandit signs or whatever they're doing. But those would be things that you can position again, right? Because I'm just getting started. But that way you're not saying, hey, it's better than saying we don't take you if you're not doing any deal. It's like
they don't want to take that if they're not doing any deals.
That's what I'm saying, right? But it's something people will lie about, or it's sometimes it's like coming right out, like working with people do Facebook ads, right? Sometimes it's like hard to say, hey, we're really looking for people that are doing $500,000 a year in revenue. But it's easy to say, what's your ad spend a day, right? Because if they're spending $1,000 on ads a day, they're probably making some type of profit off of that over time, right? But you're also trying to figure out what is the common denominator, right? So if they say, yeah, we're using PPC, they may not even be using your PPC. They may be doing it themselves, or having their brother-in-law run it for them, right? But yeah, I'm using PPC.
Using direct mail. The thing is, we don't want them to reallocate their current marketing budget to SEO. They need to be in a position where they're not taking it from one place, putting it in SEO, because that's just going to put a hold.
Oh, I'm not asking that. I wouldn't.
No, but I'm just like, because some people say, yeah, I'm spending $2,000 on I'm doing direct mail right now, and I'm spending, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be ideal, because in their heads, okay, I'll stop doing direct mail.
That's why I would just ask them to open, how are you getting deal flow right now? That's what I would be interested in. How are you getting deal flow right now?
So yeah, I'm doing cold calling. So that would be an answer, but that wouldn't tell me much. Hey, I'm doing cold calling.
You've already asked them, are they making at least one deal a month?
I'm not asking that. So I think that should be in there. Are you doing at least one deal a month? Right? We want to ask probably. Actually, that could be the qualifier. Like, even, are you doing 2 deals a month for SEO? Because if you're not doing 2 deals a month, like, you don't have enough cash flow coming in.
What you're probably going to end up finding is your most ideal people are, again, resourceful people, have resources because they have people help them. So if they're having somebody help them with PPC, or if they're having somebody do direct mail for them, right? Or are you looking all the stamps, or are you having somebody else do it?
Yeah, they're licking their own stamps and handwriting the letter.
Right. Yeah. The thing I like about if they're saying they're cold calling is because that probably means they're not really doing anything. If they're like 90% of the people, like I use cold calls, but they really don't do anything. Are you doing cold calls yourself, or you have somebody?
They have a hire. They're at the stage where I want them to be in. If they're doing the cold calling themselves, I don't want them because
That's right. So what I'm saying, they have steady lead flow and resources because they're resourceful. And so you want to work with those kind of people.
That's exactly what I want to work with. Exactly.
That's right. So that's why I said, how are you bringing in deals now? What you're looking for, are they hiring or are they trying to do it all themselves? Those are going to be, who do you think is going to be easier to say, let us handle your SEO? The guy who's doing cold calls and licking stamps and all by himself in the corner of the room somewhere, or the guy that's, I've got a direct mail company and I've got a cold call company and we're running some PPC over here. That's going to be the guy that's going to buy your SEO.
Hey, are you closing at least one deal a month? Tell me a little bit about what's bringing in the deals for you right now. Question number 2. Question number 3, why is it important to you right now to work with that and the team on getting deals from SEO? What's happening in your life or business that makes it important to you right now?
Yeah, I would just say, how are you bringing in deals now? Are you doing it yourself, or are you having somebody help you with? Because it makes a difference if they're doing your audio is like cutting out. It makes a difference if they're doing PPC on their own, right? Or they've hired a company to do it.
Yeah, our ideal client, you know what? And I would even think go out to our competitors who are offering PPC and are not offering it, do a deal with them, set up a deal for them with their competitors. They have a lot of PPC competitors. I would just go out and offer our SEO service to them.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I think that would be, like I've told this story before. I helped a guy with starting a reputation management agency. And we found his best people were the ones that had already hired reputation.com, and they gave him $5,000 and they didn't get the result. Tony, you got anything, sir?
Yeah, I just want to run something by you real quick.
Sure.
So I guess the long story short is I'm essentially doing like a T1 and a T2 kind of almost with the small businesses.
Yeah.
What's your hit? Because obviously I respect it. What's your hit if I was to start mojoing these people that have interest? And the reason it came up for me is because I got a response while we were doing in the first hour. And I had somebody that hit me up, and I noticed just instinctively I'm kind of doing the T3 itself a bit. I was just like, fuck, I'm having a hard time catching some of these people. That's my real issue. They want to talk, but it's just, they're small business owners. Yeah. So that I'm thinking, I'm having good success in email. I'm like, wait a minute, why don't I just T3 it totally and see if I can make the transaction happen even without a phone call?
If you've done the phone calls, yeah, I would totally do that. I'm working on the same thing for my agency right now. I think I can just T3 out the agency call. I've done so many of them.
Yeah.
And I've basically done the same thing with the love letter. Guys, you guys are the only two here left, but that love letter, that's saving me like dozens of hours a year and just making it more enjoyable for me. And it's working great. I think you totally could T3 that out, right? Especially after you've got some calls under your belt, right?
Yep.
And some of them might come back and say, well, I have another question. But now they're going to be way closer to the whole. They're going to know the price. They're going to know everything. So I totally would try T3
do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe what I'll do is maybe I put together and then maybe just have you take a quick look at it. I'm doing the calls for these guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, actually, even while on this call, I'm like, right now, I want to quit, like really quick right now. But yeah, I'm crushing it in sales.
That would be a game changer for you, man. You can almost completely automate somebody doing the cold stuff. When you get the reply, you give them this, you give them that. If they say yes, just send them on over to this guy. Now you're out of it. And you collect the damn money. So.
That's it. Okay. Yeah, because the cold email piece is pretty cool. Getting that out there, getting the response, maybe doing that T3. I think probably at some point they may try and want to talk or something. But if I can really T3 it out, then I think then that could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my buddy's running
using T3s on LinkedIn, because we're doing it on direct mail, all across all kinds of different industries. I totally think you could make that.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to see. I know you've had experience, and if you thought it'd be pissing up a road.
I'd be more confident now that you've had some phone time with it.
Yeah.
Right.
I really don't want to do this, but I'm actually the one I just signed up. I'm going to sit down with her in LA on Sunday, and she knows a lot about this. She's been in the industry for like 20 years or something.
I think Asim's doing it. Like he's basically just T3ing like real estate people in $7,500 for PPC.
Yeah.
So
Tony, what that enables you to do, man, just so that you see what the strategy behind this, I'm going to be setting up deals in between these people. So not only I'm going to do the T3, I'm going to start back end, but basically, so my PPC guy doesn't offer coaching. I'm now going to promote the coaching to my PPC guys list and take a 20, 30, 50, 40%, 50% on the profit. And then I'm going to promote people. So there's a lot of leverage in focusing on one industry, because you can set up a lot of coalition for different things you can do between them. And now I can push my own offers. I'm going to license some products myself, and then I'm going to push it to their lists. There's just so much money in focusing on one industry because there's so much leverage. I have one guy, for instance, he has a funnel. He's bringing a lot of leads. I can license that funnel to bring leads for the other guy as well. I'm just like blowing up with ideas. I'm like, Travis trying to hold me back.
Yeah.
There's just so many things I could do, but I'm going to like get to a position where I really solidified my position with these. But once I get into the deal making position and I'm not just sticking to the P3 campaigns, there's a lot of money.
Yeah, I think what Yassine was saying that would be applicable to you, Tony, is like, so let's say it's this time next year, right? And you've sold 30 people into the microblading, right? And they got PPC rolling, they're happy with it. You know their names, you still control the customers, right? The PPC guys aren't going to offer them anything else probably. But you can go find a social media company and say, hey, do you have a Facebook page for your company for $500 a month or $1,000 a month? Microblading is great. And like my hairstylist does a lot of business off of her page. Then you can plug somebody else in there, right? And the money that you make now, they're not cold, right? So if you have 50 people, you can probably sign up 10 or 12 of them right away. Like in one, hey, been doing well with that PPC, let's manage your page or something else that they would want. I don't know if they would do SEO. I don't know if it's that. But
out of everybody I'm talking to right now, the big thing is none of them want to jack with SEO because it takes too long or they've been ripped off by it. The thing is with this is it's guaranteed leads or booked appointments, which I'm gonna because I'm just gonna hot call them right into the business with the follow-up stuff that we have.
Yeah.
Oh, and it wouldn't even be me, it'd be my partner that's doing it. But yeah, if I could bring that on where, like he's doing that, all I'm doing is doing the sales. I know I thought about going into their list. Of course, I don't know that I want to go that hands-on, but I could totally mojo their buyers list if I wanted to. It's a bit more.
I'm just saying, because you still control the customer list, right? Like
totally.
You got the toll position on their data. And I would maintain that. Like if the PPC guys say, hey, we want to own the, like, no. So because now they're your customers, as far as they know, that's like your company doing the work almost.
Totally.
So then you just offer them other stuff.
That I don't even have to necessarily do. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah, because I know some of them are going to want some other stuff, but it's part of that. We talked about it, identity thing. Like I'm doing this right now and I'm doing it for the money and my identity is like screaming, no, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm confronting reality.
Are you getting residual?
Well, yeah, if they pay me every month.
Yeah.
It's a monthly gig, right? So
you're white labeling PPC for these guys, right?
Not white labeling. It's part of this local boss program. It's like he teaches you how to use cold email to get the client. And then he also teaches you and he gives you all the Facebook ads for the 14 niches. So he gives you.
So you're running ads for it yourself?
Yeah, my buddy that I pulled in on it, he's running the ads.
That's what I mean. You're basically white labeling it.
In essence, yeah.
Yeah. And you're getting, but it is residual, right? If they continue on, you're going to get residual from it.
Yeah, and they're paying me. They're coming directly to me. It's like my agency.
Yeah. And you're not doing the work. You're not running the Facebook ads.
No, my buddy's doing that.
Perfect.
We're just using the content. We're using the ads that he provides in the train,
Perfect. Yeah, and if something happened to him, you could replace him way easier than he's going to be able to replace you.
Oh, my Facebook guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So that's what I'm saying. I would just maintain the customers. The big thing is, so you've got it flowing money now. And I think you have enough margin in there. Or if you don't, you need to work on the margins. But I think
the margins are ridiculous.
So now you just need to figure out, how do I start removing myself, right? And I think moving it to a T3 is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Because now, like, you've McDonaldized it a lot. That's going to take care of a lot of your problem. If you don't have to hire a sales dude, now you've got a simple machine, right? And you can put however many people that's going to make your monthly nut. And then once you have that cash flow going, then decide what the hell you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Again, I know that. I'm staying the focus. Actually, after last week's Mojo, I realized I'm doing the sales calls. I'm doing the LB project. I'm also a partner in this other girl's gig, trying to get that off the ground. That's one thing, Tony. That's probably the biggest thing. But yeah, I'm just trying to bring it all together in 3 different ways. But yeah, to do that would be awesome. It's a good idea. Okay. I just want to get your approval that you thought it made sense and that it wasn't.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I'll get working on that.
Cool, mate.
That's it. Thank you. Appreciate it, sir.
You're so welcome.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to jump off. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna jump off. Thank you.